Hello.
Hi, we just saw Spider-Man.
Homecoming.
Yeah. After we just came home. Well, I did. It's not. Regardless.
And it was a good movie.
Yes. And before we start off, I'd like to say this is probably going to be the closest thing we will ever see on the big screen of Spider-Man versus Batman. Yeah. If you know the cast, you'll know why we made that reference. But we'll, keep talking about it anyway as we go on.
So the main villain is Vulture, played by Michael Keaton.
Yes, because we had to ruin that joke somehow.
I mean, I was waiting for the whole time just to ruin that.
Yeah, basically.
Like Michael Bay ruins Transformers.
Nobody can ruin things like he does. That would be quite the achievement.
Yeah.
But yes.
So now Spider-Man is in the Marvel universe finally.
Yes.
After Sony and Marvel having issues for so many years over the rights to Spider-Man. Was it Sony that has Craptastic 4?
No, that's Fox.
Oh, Fox has Craptastic 4.
You mean Fan 4 Stick?
Yes. They can also be called Craptastic 4.
Fan Shit Stick.
But we have to actually talk.
Because we have to actually say actually over and actually again because actually Jeff Goldblum, yes.
That was a mistake, no? So now it's our third Spider-Man in the movies in a row, played by Tom Holland.
Yeah, which kind of encapsulates the best of the two previous Spider-Mans. Tobey Maguire's just sort of embarrassing awkwardness at the same time as Andrew Garfield's, clever wit.
Because that's what Peter Parker is. He's a nerd.
Because most critics say that the previous two Spider-Man roles, they got half of it right. Like the first one got like the awkwardness down, and the second one got the wit down, but neither of them got both of them down. This one did.
Yes. And I've seen people say to create the most comic book accurate Spider-Man movie. Which is pretty good praise for Spider-Man.
Except for the fact that they didn't say with great power comes great responsibility once.
No, I think that's run its course.
Still would have been neat for
you got 5 movies basically with that previously. I guess they took
what
that.
They could have done maybe is just have have somebody say it like Tony Stark begin to say it and then just have him be interrupted or maybe being Tony Stark he starts to say it like no that sounds stupid.
Well, he had his own version of it in the movie. Yeah. Like if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't need it.
No, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have the suit.
Then you shouldn't have it, yeah. Which is basically his own way of saying that. But no,
with great suit comes great responsibility.
Also with great muscles, which Spider-Man has.
Yeah, and I also like the irony that, Tony Stark is trying to be this,
father figure he never had.
Not just that, but also the fact that, he's berating, Peter Parker for screwing up when how many times has Tony Stark screwed up and almost, destroyed everything because of that screw up?
That's exactly what he didn't want to have.
Yeah,
Peter
I know,
Parker
but he actually said that, but he got so angry about it and like, hypocrite? I mean, yes, I know you don't want him to make the same mistakes, but at least be a little more understanding, but whatever.
I don't know, you could have had drunk Tony on screen.
That would have been awesome. that would have been awesome.
But this movie also starts out where basically in Civil War, because it's shown the start is shown Peter Parker's perspective of Civil War.
Oh yeah, no. I thought the start was actually just after the Avengers.
No, it was Cap and Iron Man fighting. At least the start of Peter Parker's part in the movie.
No, I thought the start of the movie itself,
yes. But Peter Parker's part of it happened 8 years later in the Civil War.
No, but we still have to mention the before that, the origin of...
I've already mentioned Michael Keaton.
we didn't mention his origin scene, which actually is important because it's part of his character.
Yeah, he
was a contracted salvager.
To clean up
after the Avengers movie.
Yeah, after the Battle of New York.
The Jatari.
Yeah. And his job gets taken away by the government working with Tony Stark.
I really think it should have been S.H.I.E.L.D., but they had to hammer in it's Tony Stark's fault again, because what hasn't been Tony Stark's fault in these movies? Aside from Loki. That's literally the only villain so far he's fought that he didn't inadvertently create. I mean, let's just go through the list. I know we're talking about Spider-Man. Let's go through the list.
Whiplash?
The
Ironmonger?
Yeah, well, he didn't so much create the Ironmonger, he just unwittingly, gave him a better weapon. Because the Ironmonger, he was already an asshole to begin with, but he inadvertently, gave him access to this technology. And then, of course, there's the infamous, extremist guy. I can't remember what they called him, but the guy who turns himself into lava.
Yeah.
Even at the end of that movie, he said he was like all throughout the movie, the narration, I create my own demons, just hammer it in. Yeah. And then of course, or Ultron.
This has been confirmed by the director, but apparently, you remember the scene, the first attack of Whiplash in Iron Man 2, where he attacks the show of Iron Man on stage, and Whiplash attacks?
Eh?
In Iron Man 2.
Yeah, no.
In the first scenes, not the race car scenario, but Whiplash.
Oh yeah, the TV.
Yeah, and Iron Man saves a little kid in a Spider-Man helmet.
That was at the end of the movie.
No, apparently that was at the beginning of the movie, and that was Peter Parker.
I don't.
According to the director, that was Peter Parker.
I don't remember seeing that. I'll have to go back and watch that. I don't remember seeing that Easter egg.
But it's just become an Easter egg because this is the only time that anyone ever said that.
I'll have to go back and see that anyway.
The kid in the Iron Man helmet was apparently Peter Parker.
Oh, you said Spider-Man helmet. No, the kid in the Iron Man helmet. That was towards the end of the movie.
Okay.
That's why I got confused. Yes, I remember that.
Because apparently that kid was Peter Parker.
That's actually pretty clever.
Even though Marvel had no control over Spider-Man at the time.
Well, they probably could have just retconned it. Oh yeah, then we can say that was Peter Parker now because nobody could tell who he really was. So we're just gonna say, oh yeah, he was Spider-Man now because that makes sense.
Yeah. But then after
retcons because comic books.
Yes. But after that, we cut to 8 years later with Peter Parker in Civil War.
Doing the found footage.
He's doing a vlog.
Basically, maybe 5 minutes of found footage movie condensed into 5 minutes.
Yeah. I liked at the end, it was, Tony Stark's like, we should do a thing for Aunt May.
An alibi video.
Yeah. And he's like, hey Aunt May, how you doing? And later Aunt May's like, I don't like that Tony Stark. Although I doubt Peter showed her the one where Tony Stark goes, what are you wearing? Something skimpy, I hope. I'm pretty sure he just deleted that.
Yeah.
But no, Tony Stark's still a playboy even after everything that's happened.
Billionaire playboy.
Philanthropist.
There's another word in there, I can't remember. Genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. Yeah.
Right. And also awesome facial hair bros with Doctor Strange.
And us.
Awesome facial hair bros. But it's Peter Parker going through high school. It's a fairly accurate depiction of where the comic started.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Tobey Maguire did that too. Obviously.
Wasn't he in high school for a couple seconds, basically, in the movie?
No, a bit more than that. At least the entire first movie. By the second movie, he might have been in college.
Was it Andrew Garfield that went from high school immediately to college?
I never actually saw those movies, admittedly.
I think it might have been they might have glossed over high school for Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I never actually saw that one. Okay, but yeah.
It's him wanting to be an Avenger, but him still having to go through high school. And then we have his best friend Ned, who's 3 or 4 stereotypes rolled into one.
Yeah, kind of think like the Mexican stereotype guy from Ant-Man, but like 10 years younger.
He's a fat Asian nerd.
Yeah, again, the guy, the sidekick guy from Ant-Man, but 10 years younger. That's basically all I saw.
Yeah. And then we have Peter's love interest, Liz.
Yeah.
Well, surprisingly not named either MJ or Gwen Stacy.
There's a little Easter egg later. We'll get to that.
Yes, yes.
But, first thing, in relation to the Ant-Man, there's a funny little kind of in-joke there where Ned, or whatever, I think his name, asked, like, he was asking Spider-Man a whole bunch of questions after he found out his secret identity, like really annoying, nerdy questions. One of them just happened to be
because of course you would.
Yeah, but one of them just happened to be like just went by like blink and you'll miss it. Can you control an army of spiders? I'm like, no, but I know someone else who can do something like that. I mean, he didn't say that, but I was thinking that. Yeah. He fought a guy who could do that.
Yeah, he fought a guy.
Wasn't spiders, but you know, close enough.
And then his school is mandated by law to show videos of Captain America. And then one of the things they're all sitting in bleachers, and Ned's like, "Have you met that guy?" Peter is like, "Yeah, I stole his shield."
And even funnier than that, the gym teacher when when the first one was
he's like, "I'm pretty sure he's a war criminal now, but whatever. It's state mandated that I show these videos." Because we saw them at least 3 times, twice in the movie, and once as an end credits little thing.
Yeah. And you know, Captain America doing PSAs because what comic book hero has done more PSAs than in the comic books than Captain America? How many?
Probably Spider-Man is on par.
Superman maybe.
PSA Hell is always almost always about Spider-Man and fruit pies.
No, that's not PSA Hell. That's comic book cookies. No, PSA Hell is when they're saying drugs are bad.
Oh right, okay.
Okay, drugs are bad. Okay. Drugs are bad.
Okay.
Especially, hypocrite because, Captain America is only a superhero because of drugs made him give him superpowers, but he's always saying drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, enough about talking about, not about the movie we're supposed to be talking about because, these videos are already long enough.
So let's make them even longer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of, I like that dynamic where somebody finds out he's Spider-Man. Like, most movies just try and prevent anyone from finding out the superhero's identity. This is like, yeah, we're going to go with it because it's his best.
And of course, the reveal is the most, ridiculous, awkward thing. Like, it just happens to be in Peter Parker's room when he
crawls in wearing the suit after being out a night on the town saving people.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're the Spider-Man from YouTube." And as he drops his Lego Death Star, buy our products, buy our products, buy our products.
Because Disney owns both those, so now we can plug the, Yeah, but seriously,
yes.
You have Doctor Strange. You could pull off an actual non-canon crossover. You could do that now, because Doctor Strange is the perfect matchup for that, but whatever. Jedi Master Doctor Strange Professor Patrick. Mr. Dr. Professor Jedi Master Strange Patrick, Jason Voorhees,
where did Jason Voorhees come from?
Because Linkara's, you never watched those Linkara's Pokemon Omicron stream where he's like everything?
Not very often.
Dr. Ranger, Jason Voorhees, Joker, Link, Lucario, anyway. Yeah. Again, another sidetrack because that's what we do.
Yes. We ramble.
Yes.
We're the ramblers. It's a little less dangerous form of gambling.
But yes,
just replace the green with red.
Yeah,
Oh, there was also we disagreed whether it was an in-joke or not. They were in class and they were answering questions, and Flash, who's a regular comic book, like Spider-Man comic book guy, he gets the answer wrong, and the teacher's like, "Sorry, Flash, it's not, being fast isn't always okay. I'm wrong. I can't remember exactly the quote, but I've seen it said that it's a dig at the Flash, Barry Allen, because how many times Barry Allen screws things up.
And you said his actual name is Flash Gordon. It's not. It can't be.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, they would not. He was from the original, and Flash Gordon was from a comic and then serials and movies that no.
We'll look
Flash, Flash, savior of the universe. Yeah, it's not that Flash. No, he was the bully. You know, like in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. I know I'm referencing that a lot, but hey, I have to.
But in this movie,
he was just a big muscly jock. But in this guy, he was just sort of a scrawny nerd. But
he's kind of reversed the stereotypes of bullies.
Yeah, but he was like a really mean nerd. Like just like I'm awesome. Everyone else sucks. Like I'm smarter than everyone. Oh yeah, Penis Parker.
How are you going to include a clip of that? That was the running joke. Was Penis Parker?
Penis.
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 Penis. Penis.
Penis.
Penis.
I want this completely covered by clips of the review of Demolition Man.
I'll see what I can do. It may take a while, but yeah.
Penis.
Penis. Half this review is just gonna be us saying penis and hardly any talking about the actual movie, and people are gonna comment. You're supposed to be reviewing a movie. What
penis?
Penis. Of course,
that's a running joke in the movie. Yeah. Flash keeps calling him Penis Parker. Like, you're giving us so much material right there.
And, you know, of course, I also made the joke that since, you know, Spider-Man likes to run around the city a lot, like, on foot, and like, it's Peter Parkour.
Yeah. We also did mention they played the original, the TV show theme song at the beginning of the movie, like an orchestral version, like, Spider-Man, na 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 na. And, like, I love that tie-in, like, like, little touches like that. Like, it reminds me of them playing the Power Rangers song in the Power Rangers movie.
Now that we just need a Batman movie that says, no wait, we got Lego Batman, that did
Yeah, Lego Batman.
Close enough.
Good movie.
Yeah, but not...
Better than Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah, again, we're getting sidetracked. How much time have we spent not talking about this movie?
Penis!
We're tired.
Penis!
Back to Spider-Man.
I just keep referencing...
They're gonna think we're drunk. We don't actually drink, but we're acting like we're drunk. Okay.
So back to Penis Parker.
Yes. So... Yeah, let's get to actual story stuff. Oh yeah, let's... So yeah, Peter Parker just... He happens to... you know, it starts with him just sort of doing little...
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, for the first 20 minutes of the movie, the biggest thing he accomplished was he stopped a guy from stealing a bike, but he couldn't even find who the bike belonged to, so he just put a...
I like a guy came out of the store, he's like, "Hey guy, is this your bike?" He's like, "No change." That was the guy's response. Because I'm pretty sure in New York there's a lot of homeless asking for change. So I'm pretty sure just a generic answer is no change.
Yeah.
Because I've even had that living here, like living in my neighborhood, walking home late at night, people asking, "Can you spare some change for the bus?" Like I've experienced that.
Yeah. Okay. Again, let's just freaking anecdotes. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you just generic montage of him like doing little
going to school, helping an old woman cross the street, trying to stop a guy from breaking into his own car.
and then we get our, you know, obligatory Stan Lee cameo, as we say that in unison.
Which, it wasn't really much, he's just talking to some woman across.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and then, so, until finally he sees something that's an actual.
Sees a bank robbery.
Yeah, and it's the scene in the trailer where they're wearing the masks of the Avengers, and he starts making jokes.
They change the dialogue between the commercials and the.
Hey, you're not the real Avenger.
Hulk gives it away, but no, they changed it to, hey, it's the Avengers, and he starts making cracks with them like, Iron Man, I didn't know you need. What? Since when do you need to start robbing banks?
Yeah.
Or hey, Thor, Hulk, it's nice we finally meet.
Yeah.
But then they break out the advanced weapons and start beating the crap out of them.
No, yeah, we never actually did. Oh yeah, we did talk about that. Yeah, no, the Vulture guy, the not Batman,
The Michael Keaton.
the not Batman this time.
His last name is Toons. I don't remember his first name, but his last name is either Toons or Coombs. I can't remember how they said it.
Who cares?
It was nice that they homaged his comic book outfit, the character, with like you notice he had a ring of like fluff around his neck.
Yeah,
that was
jacket.
That was homaging the original Vulture, even though it wasn't green.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was a nice touch.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he basically started his own little black market weapons operation where he sells small time criminals like really advanced weaponry, and that's where the bank robbers got theirs from. So
and yeah, he's okay. I don't know if you want to keep going, but he starts fighting them, and one of them lets off a blast with whatever they're using, and it blasts through the store across the street where he just was hanging out with the store clerk because he, I guess, friends with them.
Yeah.
The Spanish clerk made a joke in, I think, Spanish about Peter's Aunt May, and Peter responds with, "So how is your daughter?" in Spanish. And I assume his daughter might be either sick or something like that, because he then overcharges Peter for the sandwich because it was a dig. It was like an insulting kind of comment.
Yeah, but
like, so how is your daughter? Like, so how is your daughter?
So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So they.
He tries to contact Iron Man through Happy Hogan,
who ironically was never looked happy in this movie. Like he's always. Stupid Peter Parker, annoying.
Yeah, he was.
I like how Jon Favreau. It seemed like he got more screen time in this movie than any of the Iron Man movies. It's like it's weird. It's
as if he directed the Iron Man movies.
Yeah, but the thing is, he got more screen time in this movie than he got in any of the Iron Man movies. It's like, I mean, I like that, but like, okay.
Yeah, he's basically the guardian of Peter Parker.
Aside from Tony Stark himself.
Yeah. He's Peter's go-to to bug the crap out of, because Peter wants missions.
Like a big wall of texts.
Yeah. Because apparently even in the comics, Peter Parker, when he didn't join the Avengers right away, like even in the comics, he was still like a side member doing stuff on his own before he fully joined the Avengers.
Yeah.
So I noticed that was another nice nod to the comics.
So... Yeah, back to the
bank
plot.
robbery. He saves the store clerk and his cat, who he seems to like the cat.
Yeah.
And then the bank robbers get away. I love the store clerk. He's like, Spider-Man is fighting the Avengers in a bank on 21st Street. Like, just to be also a broad thing, like, you understand that in this universe this is basically commonplace by now. It's like, nobody questions it, like, okay, thank you, sir. Because there's so many superheroes, you just don't question when ridiculous stuff happens anymore. You're like, oh, Spider-Man's fighting the Avengers in a bank? Okay. And on with your day.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't the real Avengers, it was the real Spider-Man, but, regardless, So...
I noticed this small nod in the montage. Peter's on a roof, and a guy on the ground floor asks him to do a flip. It's similar to in Futurama when Hermes wants to jump off the roof.
Oh yeah, no,
I think his limbo career failed. He wanted to jump off a roof, and Bender's like, "Do a flip."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, nice."
Yeah.
This movie loved having Easter eggs in them and giving nods to other things.
And we've only talked about the first 20 damn minutes of the movie, and we're probably already like an hour into this video.
We shouldn't be an hour into it, but
maybe half an hour.
You might want to, I guess.
Yes. Back to main plot stuff. So let's speed roll this. So yeah, he tries to track down the weapons dealers.
And he has to go on an academic decathlon, which he initially rejected.
Well, actually, no, first before that, he almost catches the dealers in the middle of making a deal with this sort of street criminal
played by the guy from. He was in a show with the guy who does the soup. They're like in a school. Like they're set in. Damn it.
Who cares?
Not Parks and Recreation, but something like I can't remember.
Who cares? Moving on. So
the same guy who's going to be in the young Han Solo movie
Okay, again. So yeah, basically the scene goes like he interrupts his
phone interrupts.
Yeah.
He gets a call from Ned. Yeah, and he's like, if you're gonna shoot it, why you shoot at me? And then just grabs the gun.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, they were gonna shoot the street thug because they thought he was the one with the phone.
Yeah.
But it turns out, which we'll get back to that later. It's another nod later. But yeah, basically, Peter tries to chase after them.
And he gets punched by a guy with a shocking gauntlet.
Yeah. He calls himself the Shocker. You're the Shocker now,
Which he doesn't
shock people. You're the Shocker.
He doesn't say that. He just punches Spider-Man.
Because I'm the Shocker.
He's even wearing Shocker's iconic yellow arm sleeves. Like if you remember the cartoon, the Shocker had yellow on his arm sleeves with the cross line pattern that the guy had.
So, but yeah, and then, I was thinking, I'm thinking after the movie, why didn't they make a sort of a reference to Taserface? They could have so done that, in joke, but anyway, because...
Same universe, but I guess, I don't know.
Missed opportunity. Anyway, regardless. So yeah, but they do escape, But the Michael Keaton guy is mad because now we're on the radar. You screwed up. You made too much noise.
He dropped a weapon that Spider-Man found.
Yeah, and then but then the guy who calls the Shocker as I just delivered that line quoting Michael Keaton directly. So they're basically he's go home, you're fired. And
he's like, oh, you want me out there with how much I know about this? And then Michael Keaton picks up a gun, which apparently he thinks is an anti-grav gun, and shoots him, and it disintegrates him.
Yeah.
Besides the weapon's still intact. And he's like, I thought this was the anti-grav gun. And this guy who's basically making weapons, he's like, no, it's that one. I'm like, what is an anti-grav gun gonna do to this guy?
Knock him out? So they could tie him up? I don't know, I guess.
I guess it's just easier to kill him. But he gave the weapon to the black guy who was partners with the guy. He's like, here, you're the Shocker now.
Yeah.
And I like the guy's reaction, like, damn. This is the most subtle reaction. Damn. This movie was good on subtlety when it needed to be.
Yeah. So...
Now Peter's going to a party, Liz's party.
Yeah.
Because they're in gym again with the Captain America scene, the first one where he's on the TV with the Captain America whatever challenge, and he's doing sit-ups, and Ned's like, there are girls in the bleachers crushing on the Avengers, being doing the whole fuck, marry, kill thing, and then Liz is like, oh, what about Spider-Man? What about that Spider-Man? She starts crushing on Spider-Man, and Ned's like, Peter knows Spider-Man! So he ends up getting invited to a party.
On the condition that he brings Spider-Man with him. So then it almost sets up the classic stupid trope of, the two people of the same party who are actually the same person, they'd have to keep switching out. They thankfully spare us that, as just as he is about to do it, oh, there's another explosion. We have to go check it out.
But also, before that, in that same auditorium, Flash makes the joke of, sorry, I gotta go, I have a hot date with Black Widow. Alright.
Now I just want to see Black Widow, him actually meet Black Widow and her just totally, yeah, right, kid.
I'd say kick him in the face, or kick him in the balls, but just reject him would be fine.
Yeah, because
like, you got no chance, kid.
Yeah, because he's a minor. She wouldn't do that unless he was actually a threat.
Yeah, he's like a 15-year-old girl, and she's like
just
a 30, early 30s-year-old woman.
Yeah, she'd just blow him off.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure Scarlett Johansson does to random fans every day.
Probably. But yeah, he ends up chasing the bad guys. Like he put a tracker on them.
Yeah.
Was this scene the one with the? Okay, I'm trying to think of where things end up.
I think that led into the scene we just talked about previously.
I think so.
That's when he put the tracker on them, and then they go to his school looking for the weapon that he dropped, but they don't find it.
No, but then he follows them to a gas station and comments on how lame that is.
Yeah.
And then as he goes to intercept them, oh wait, we forgot to talk about everything in DC.
Oh shit. But no, this happens before that.
The gas station scene, he's already been in DC and already hacked his suit.
Oh, right, yeah.
But yeah, they went to DC for a decathlon, blah, 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 blah. They get in trouble. He and Ned hack his suit that Tony gave him.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because it's set to training wheels protocol. And he takes out the tracker, because Happy has a tracker on him, and sticks it on a lamp. Just so he can
tracking this lamp.
Yeah, so he can go chase them.
Yeah.
And then the weapon was that he gave to Happy, or not to Happy, to Ned. Turns out to be a bomb that goes off in the giant triangle building.
Actually, but before that, he chases after the bad guys.
Yeah.
From the gas station. And tries to foil another.
Tony put an AI in his suit similar to his own that messes with stuff because he's not used to having things change. He's used to one setting, and she activates instant kill, which is like just his eyes turn into a little red. He's like, no, I don't want instant kill. But he has 502 different options for his webbing.
Taser webs.
But yeah,
he could use a taser web in Shocker's face.
Yeah. Alright. Alright there, taser face. But he also has, he can zoom in and he can hear them. And as he goes to, I guess...
Again, he botches, trying to stop them from...
He just falls down on his face and the AI's like, you fell flat on your face.
No, not just that, but he tries to stop them from another heist. I mean, he kind of interferes with them, but he still botches it because then they still escape, and he gets trapped inside the truck.
Well, he fights Vulture.
Yeah.
He fights Vulture because Vulture is trying to access a truck full of alien tech.
Yeah.
With a matter phase shifter. And then, he gets trapped in there. All the way to the place where the government's keeping all the stuff.
Probably where they also keep the Lost Ark of the Covenant.
Alright. And he has to get out of there, but the door won't open until morning, so it's a montage of him going through the training protocol and learning all the stuff about his suit that he didn't have access to before.
And apparently that only took 37 minutes.
Well, he is a genius.
Yeah, I know, but he's like, really? That was only 37 minutes? I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. And then he starts hacking the timer, whatever, the timed lock. And he finally gets it open, but I'm pretty sure it was going to open at that time anyway.
But it was only 37 minutes. It would have been hours.
But it was already morning at that point.
Oh, okay.
Because he opened the door and it's daylight.
Okay.
So I sit there and I'm like, yeah, that's probably, they meant that as a joke. Like, he opens it, but it was supposed to open at that time anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So he gets to DC and the Chitauri bomb that he had goes off because it went through a metal detector.
Yeah, because apparently it's activated by radiation.
Because, yay, plot convenience.
Of course, don't you know anything about science?
So it goes off in the, I don't know what that building's called, I don't remember.
The Washington Monument.
Right.
The big penis!
Which more looks like a monument to Bill Clinton.
Penis!
That's a joke. That Bill Clinton screwed his secretary.
Yeah, or you know, like the Digimon Adventure to the Dark Spires, whatever the hell they were called. But you know, I'm sure that was already a rip-off of the Washington Monument.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So he has to save them, and then the cops show up wanting them to land or they'll shoot. But I'm like, why do they want to shoot? It's Spider-Man. Aren't you used to heroes trying to save people in this universe?
And also, why are they gonna shoot the Washington Monument with a Gatling gun when they know there's people trapped in there? What kind of stupid is this?
I don't know.
Because military is always incompetent in fiction. It just, unless the movie is about the military, then the military is always incompetent. They just are.
So it was in the montage. It showed that he had basically wings. I guess made out of spider. I don't know what they're made of, but he used those to jump over the helicopter they were in, attached to the bottom, and
kick through the window
through the
to get inside.
Ballistics glass.
Yeah.
4-inch thick ballistic glass.
Yeah, and then just in the nick of time, you know, use the spider thread to stop the elevator from falling. 3 times he had to reshoot that web.
Yeah, he had to stop it from falling twice, and then once he had to save Liz.
Yeah.
So then he's back to school, I think.
Well, not back to school, but back to the hotel or whatever, because then on the news, you know, Spider-Man saved the day again, stuff like that.
I guess he grabbed his tracker. It didn't really show, because if he didn't, Happy would have called me like, "Hey, your tracker says you're still in New York, even though you're supposed to be in Queens."
Yeah. So when did the scene where Vulture almost kills him, but then Iron Man saves him happen? When did that happen?
I'm trying to. I think that was next.
Yeah.
Because in that scene he says, "Good job in New York." Iron Man says after he saves him, he's like, "Good job saving those people."
No, but that was in Washington D.C.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, good job saving those people in D.C.
Yeah, but no. When did the?
No, he says that after he saves Peter from drowning.
No, but when did that scene happen? I'm trying to remember when that scene happened in continuity-wise. Because when did Vulture attack him? I know it was in another attempt to stop.
No, it was in the van chase scene. They called him in the van chase scene when the guy who was originally a Shocker was shooting at Peter. The black guy called Vulture, and as Peter caught up to them, he got nabbed by the Vulture and then pulled into the air.
Oh, right.
And then dropped, and because he had a parachute and almost drowned, and Iron Man saved him. And
oh right, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, "Good job with helping that old woman who gave you the churro."
Yeah, no, but that's because the part of there's that Iron Man sent one of his suits by remote control, and
because he was in India, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there having I guess a business meeting, and he's like, "Thank God they have Wi-Fi here."
So yeah, and then
but yeah, that was Peter's first lecture, and then he hacked the suit.
Yeah.
And then DC happened, and then he went back to school.
Not quite yet. Something else. Remember the ferry scene? When did that happen?
I think he had to go back to school. Like he went home, after that event, and then he went to the ferry right after. because I think he got home and he started looking at footage from the chase from the guys under the bridge, which led him to the random thief, which led him to the ferry.
Ah. Oh yeah, the random thief. That's another thing. That scene where Peter was distracted them, kept them from shooting him.
He was looking through because his suit records everything, so it's showing scenes of him basically just enjoying the suit, pretending to be Thor.
And then of course is like, shall I activate interrogation mode? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, because he did a scan for the 3 guys under the bridge, and 2 of them didn't come up with information because one of them at that point was already dead.
Yeah.
And it led him to the guy who his interrogation protocol was hilarious because it just deepens his voice like, "Where are they? Where are the guns? I'm totally not Batman." That was basically the interrogation protocol, was deepen his voice. And the guy's like, "Dude, you're not very good at this."
This is your first time doing this, isn't it, kid?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so intimidating. I'm very intimidating.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, so then the guy...
They said, you saved my life. I owe you one. I'll tell you where he's going to be.
You told them to shoot anybody, shoot me, and that took balls. And I don't want these weapons in this neighborhood. I got a cousin who lives here.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the Vulture guy is, but I know where he will be. It will be at the Brooklyn Ferry. As Spider-Man tries to leave, he's like, "Wait, I didn't." Oh, he's like, "Wait, I didn't tell you where." Like, "Oh, yeah.
Scatterbrain.
Yeah, and then he says it's at the ferry at 11 o'clock, which was not long. Like basically, probably I assume within half an hour to an hour of that scene.
Yeah. But then there's the funny scene, because Spider-Man had, web shooted his hand.
He's like, "That's going to solve in 2 hours." And the guy's like, "No, you got to come fix this now. I got ice cream in here." He's like, "Sorry, you deserve it. You're a criminal. See you, criminal." Not as funny as I found the jokes from the 90s cartoon to be a lot, not better, but maybe I'm just, because I grew up in the 90s, I prefer the 90s jokes.
Dude!
Just because they were more outlandish, you show, they fit the 90s cartoon, and this one was, the jokes were a lot more subtle.
Yeah, then the ferry scene happens where, again, he tries to prevent a heist from happening. Again, he botches it because he starts, fighting the
Shocker.
Well, not Shocker, but then
he starts fighting the guys, and the FBI show up because they're apparently in on it, and they want to pull out their guns at him. But no, he did fight Shocker because Shocker tried to punch him, and he punched his hand through fencing and got stuck. Mm-hmm. And then the Vulture showed up, and Peter had to save everyone, and then Vulture kept firing a gun at him.
Big futuristic ray gun thing.
Yeah. Which he got away from him, but then the Vulture escaped. But the gun kept firing and split the ferry right down the middle. And there was hilarious. Tyler Perry was there, being like, "Go, Spider-Man!"
Yeah. So then Spider-Man tries to use all this web shooters to try to hold the ferry back together.
He does his best. Sam Raimi Spider-Man blocking the train from going off the tracks. and his AI, which he's called Sarah, I think, something like that.
No, don't think it was that, but
Laura.
Carrie.
It was Carrie. She's like, "You were 98% successful." Like, 98, and then it just all starts going to hell. And then Iron Man shows up because earlier when before Spider-Man started fighting, Tony called him and was like, "Good job in DC. My father normally didn't give me praise, so I'm trying to break the chain of."
Yeah.
And Peter's trying to ignore him. Yeah. He's like, "What are those noises?" He's like, "Oh, I got this and that and random excuses." It's something about band practice, and Tony's like, wait, Happy told me you quit band bags like a week ago. He's like, I gotta go back.
I like how it's like sort of an in-joke to like how Iron Man's excuses were always like, yeah, I'm driving and I'm jogging and I'm driving to where I'm going to jog and basically Spider-Man's doing the same thing to him.
Yeah. But then eventually Iron Man shows up. He's like, "Hello, Spider-Man!" As he comes up over the window of the ferry, and he saves everyone by pushing the ferry back into two. And Tyler Perry's like, "Yeah, go Iron Man!"
Iron Man.
So then they have the big important talk where Tony Stark is mad at him for.
And Peter's like,
"That's the best one. If you cared, you'd actually be here." And Tony's like, "I am here." Like, he just walks out. He's like, "I am here."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I just imagine Peter like, "Oh crap, I fucked up. I done fucked up." Because Peter Parker actually swears in this movie quite a little bit. Like there's subtle swears. Like he's like crap. He says crap in hell, but he actually swears in this, which is a little bit of surprise.
Yeah, I mean PG-13. There's only so
Spider-Man is normally PG clean. He doesn't normally swear in comics. So just to see that, I'm like, oh, okay. Like.
Well, these days it would feel kind of natural to not have a character swear at all because just everybody swears now. Everybody.
Yeah. But Tony Stark decides to take his suit away because he's done fucked up.
Yeah, and basically, you know, there's that line that, you know, if you're nothing without the suit, then maybe you shouldn't have it.
Yeah, because Peter's like, this suit is everything. That's all I have.
I'm nothing without the suit, and you know.
Tony's like, okay, give me the suit. Peter's like, but I have no clothes.
We can fix that.
And he's wearing a shirt saying, I survived a trip to NYC. When he goes back to school and has to live out his life, because right before this, he was talking to Dad, he's like, I may never return.
Montage of shame.
Yeah.
Obligatory montage of shame.
Because earlier he said to Ned, I may never come back here. Because he's sick of school, he wants to do more. So now he has to come back there and live with his homemade suit.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to stop, no matter... He's not going to... Just because Tony Stark says no...
Well, the thing is, he stopped for a while for that montage of shame.
Where he's in detention... No...
Captain America's like, so you're in detention. You're screwed a little bit, you know.
What are you going to do to fix things?
That's what you should have followed the rules.
And friggin' Michelle, who's one of the other side characters, played by Zendaya, I think her name is, is in there, and the teacher's like, "What are you doing here? You don't even have detention." And she's like, "Yeah, I just like to draw people in sorrow." It's like, yeah, it's you.
And then, of course, during the montage of shame, she draws Peter.
She also was down on the ground level when Peter saved them all, because she didn't want to go in something that was made by slaves, and the teacher was like, I'm sure this wasn't made by a slave. And there's a black guy being a security guard being like, It's like, oh, okay, go along. Enjoy your book. I remember earlier another scene with her where she wanted to get on the bus. She's like, can we get going? I have some light protesting to do. And the teacher's like, protesting is American? Okay, let's go.
Patriotic,
He's a very accepting professor. Although later, when they were filming all the survivors of the elevator collapse, he's like, I couldn't stand to lose a student on a trip. Not again. It's like, oh, okay, maybe there's more to this character that we're not.
Yeah, it's like they hinted at a backstory but didn't give it. It's like tell us more, please. Nope. You gotta wait.
I think that was the biggest critique I saw before I went to see the movie, was people were complaining that, oh, there wasn't enough character development for the side characters. But like watching it, I'm like, I don't care. It's a Spider-Man movie. All I care about is really Spider-Man. How do the characters affect Spider-Man? I don't really care about them outside of affecting Spider-Man.
So yeah, basically, the montage of shame kind of ends with, finally Liz, you why don't you come to the homecoming dance with Peter, because title drop.
Yeah, because Peter wants to go with her. He's like, I like you. And he asks her to go with him. But we also had a scene where the Vulture's in his lair and his Tinkerer guy is like, we only have enough stuff for this one last job. It's like, it's trying to show that the Vulture's basically screwed, and like he has to do one last, like he had enough to do that ferry job, but that was it for the materials because Spider-Man kept screwing him over.
Yeah.
So then he had the Tinkerer create a weapon that the guy kept a high altitude sealer.
Yeah.
So he could do another mission.
Yeah.
Which is the end of the movie is him trying to steal from Avengers Tower.
Yeah, because that's another plot point. The Avengers were moving out of Avengers Tower to
into the building we saw in Civil War.
Which again, I'm assuming that they still acknowledge that building was already there.
Yeah, they're just rebuilding it, or because Vision and what's her name kind of destroyed it a little. Like I assume in like when she was trying to, what's her name? The girl,
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, when she was trying to leave, Vision wanted to stop her, and she kind of forced him into the ground in the movie, and like I guess broke some floors.
Yeah, but anyway, again, back to this movie and not our rambling.
I mean, this whole bit.
Blah 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 blah.
Our whole thing is rambling.
Yes, because blah 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 blah.
I'm pretty sure this video is good.
And we wonder why commenters say we talk too long.
Who said we actually wondered that? It's blatantly obvious.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, final showdown. Yes. It's the final countdown. That's okay. Come on, let's speed roll this.
Yes. Okay. So the Vulture attacks the ship. The plane, which is a drone.
Yeah, and
and he sets off a second drone to hide the fact that they're taking it off course.
Yeah.
And Peter tries to stop him in his homemade outfit, but earlier he went to Liz's house, which was revealed that the Vulture is her father.
Oh yeah, because we had to have our little scene that was an homage to the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man, where, when Peter Parker and Norman Osborn sort of discover each other's identities.
Right. Yeah, and then the Vulture drives Peter and Liz to the prom. Basically, it's a prom.
Yeah, and basically
he figures out that
because Liz kept talking about how awesome Spider-Man was, and at the same time how Peter Parker kept
disappearing.
Yeah, and went to Washington with them, and
he eventually put two and two together.
Since he's the world's greatest detective.
So she gets out of the car and he's like, does she know? he knows he's Peter Parker.
I can crush you like a bug right
He's like,
now.
You're going to go out there, you're going to forget this ever happened, and you're going to give my girl a good time.
But not too good a time.
Yeah. Because he also has a gun. He's like,
yeah.
You saved my daughter's life, and for that I owe you one. But only one. But if you don't, I will kill you.
I will find you. And I will kill you. Because I'm the night.
Penis!
We're not actually people. We're just conglomerations of memes and references in the rough shape of people. That's all we are.
But then Peter goes into the dance and abandons her again, saying like, you don't deserve this, which is classic of Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Every single time Peter would abandon Mary Jane in those movies.
Yeah.
To the fact that she dumped him and then got back together with him in those movies.
Yeah. So then.
But he goes outside and he gets punched by the Shocker.
What a shocker that was!
Who's now the black guy who was an associate.
Yeah.
I remember in the ferry scene, the Shocker's stuck there and he goes, the other guy was better in this. Seriously, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was probably the cheesiest joke he made throughout the whole movie.
Besides the whole, could have gone with a taser face. Yeah.
He also did the joke of the selling illegal weapons to strangers was at 10:30. Sorry, you guys missed it. Besides, before webbing them, but Ned saves him by webbing the guy's gauntlet because he only has one in this movie, which in the comic Shocker had them on both hands.
Yeah, but again, sequel.
Yeah. Also, a bit more subtle, just having one.
Yeah. So
he sticks him to the side of a bus, and my thought was, all right. If I'm the stalker, I'm like, all right, see you guys in the sequel. But then he goes
throwing you under the bus. Sorry,
throwing you to the side of the bus. He kept punching a bus. He punched Spider-Man through a bus, and then punched it so it spun over. And it's just like, dude, what do you have against the educational system? I don't think your schooling was very good. I think you shouldn't take out your anger on buses. But then he goes to confront the Vulture, who distracts him long enough to activate his flight pack, where you said Spider-Man should just sabotage the flight pack.
Yeah, no, like, it was right there. He could have just webbed it up, and that would have ruined that plan right there. Just web the whole thing up, like.
But we need more emotion. We need Spider-Man to do something he couldn't.
Yeah, to just, like, because, the Vulture used the jet wing thing to collapse the building on top of Spider-Man, and he's like, oh, no, help me, I'm trapped, but then, like, obligatory callback voice, if you're nothing with this, you shouldn't have it. It's like, she's like, I'm Spider-Man.
Like, come on, Spider-Man. Which is the closest thing to, like, homaging Tobey Maguire's personality as Spider-Man of, if I can't handle it, I'm just going to run away and be a little bitch. He would freaking cry in the movie. And at one point in those trilogies, he literally threw his suit in the garbage.
Yeah,
because he couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. But yeah, and
I infinitely prefer this version over Bitch Man.
I like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
I don't like a hero who can't handle what he's been tasked to handle. Like, sure, you can. There's a story to overcoming it, but there's a difference between overcoming it and being a little bitch and running away crying.
Yeah, but it had J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't counteract emo Peter enough. It doesn't counter him enough.
And had William Dafoe.
But we have to continue. It's almost over.
Yes. So Vulture tries to hijack the plane, steal all the, Avengers references stuff in it. So
he picks out an Iron Man mask. He's like, no.
It's like, that's what everyone does with Iron Man now.
I would have loved if he. This would be completely stupid, but if he pulled out like bat ears, I'm like, huh. I remember these. Like something like that. Like not. Maybe
it didn't do that. It was just like pulled out like did a double take. Like, what are these doing in here?
I thought I got rid of these. But it was also funny earlier with Happy listing all the stuff that they're transporting. He's like the Hulkbuster armor, and he couldn't get Thor's magical belt's name right, which was hilarious. Yeah. He's like, Thor's magical belt.
Yeah.
And Cap's prototype new shield, even though Cap's no longer Avenger. He's like, we're still going to make him a shield because, he's going to be in later movies, but...
Yeah. But yeah, so then Spider-Man, again...
saves the day!
Yeah, by crashing the plane.
Yeah, into a beach.
Yeah.
Basically, he pulls on the wing to make the plane turn, being like, please turn, please turn, please turn.
Yeah, so...
And then I like that. I think my favorite part about this Spider-Man, even with Vulture trying to kill him, when he noticed Vulture's wing pack was going to explode, and he tried to save him, which is the mark of any good hero, in my opinion.
So and he did he
ran through
out of the fire and
throw him in the fire.
And then he just webbed him up to a rock, which is another nice touch to the animated cartoons, because every episode would end up with the bad guy webbed up to something and a little note from Spider-Man. Here you go, please.
Yeah.
And then also another little nod. The only time that he's called the Vulture is like crazy jet wing Vulture man.
Yes. But then it cuts to school again, where Happy wants to meet Peter well, okay, we have to talk about the slight plot twist we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Twist? They're showing the trophy they won for the decathlon, and Liz is moving to Oregon because her father's in jail, and they want to move somewhere away from this. And apparently her father doesn't want her to be in town during the trial.
Yeah.
So they moved to Oregon, but then the decathlon team needs a new captain, who they pick Michelle, and she goes,
"Just call me MJ."
"No, my friends call me MJ."
Yeah.
and Ned's like, "I thought you didn't have any friends."
And she's like, "I didn't."
Yeah. Also, earlier in the prom scene, when Peter opens the door to walk in, she goes, "Hey, you." She just blatantly just like, "Fuck you." And earlier, I think she...
I'm sorry, I didn't know how this machine worked.
Yeah. Also, way early in the movie, they were talking about Peter trying to get out of decathlon, and she lists off his stuff about him, and she's like, "I'm not into him. I'm just overly... like, I just know it. Like,
and people were like, "We didn't ask."
Yeah. But yeah, she says MJ, so she's gonna be Mary Jane in the next one, which I saw people complain about
before Mary Jane.
Yeah, like before the movie was released, when it was announced that she was cast to play Mary Jane, like it was announced.
Emo Mary Jane.
Yes, but I saw people complaining because people complained that, "Oh, she's not a redhead." It's like, who cares? Like, she's not Mary Jane in this movie. She's playing her own character that likes to be called MJ. Like, it's.
She's the dark, edgy MJ of emo-ness. But yet still better than emo Peter.
Yeah. She was just a loner. She was just a loner.
Very much reminded me of the Yellow Ranger from the Power Rangers movie. Personality-wise.
Aisha, yeah.
Yeah, personality-wise.
Trini, yeah.
Yeah, from the
movie.
Good Power Rangers movie.
Yes, my mind immediately went to the old one.
Yeah, not the. I can see Ivan Ooze of Apocalypse.
This video is already over an hour. We still have one video to record before I can go home. Yeah. But yeah, so she says call her MJ, and then Peter goes to meet Happy, who's in the bathroom of the school. Yeah, one of the bathrooms.
Long enough for this. How long have you been in here? Long enough for this to be awkward.
Because
after in the middle of talking, this
kid flushes the toilet
and washes his hand, and they're just like standing there like.
And he looks at them like, "What the hell is wrong with you guys?" Like, So then they go to the new Avengers building upstate New York. Yeah.
So
and Iron Man's happy with him now. He's like, "Hey, I misjudged you."
And ironically, Happy is still not happy.
Well, he looks a bit happier.
No, but he's just like...
He's not mad,
no. He's just been grumpy this whole movie, like...
No, but Iron Man offers him a new suit. And he's like, there are 50 reporters behind there, real ones, not bloggers. And if you're ready, we're willing to introduce the newest member of the Avengers, Spiderman. It shows him this brand new suit, which you said reminds you of the Iron Spider, but the Iron Spider
shiny, so it's made of metal.
Yeah, but the Iron Spider is solid red and gold with 4 limbs coming off the back, homaging Doc Ock. Because I'm pretty sure he took inspiration from Doc. They took inspiration from Doc Ock when creating that suit for the comics. But I don't know if that suit has a name, but it looks shiny. But Peter turned them down in a random act of adulthood.
Yeah, like I just want to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for a while.
Which is not what you wanted to be earlier in the movie.
Because character development.
You wanted to be an Avenger. You wanted this, and it's given to you.
Character arc.
It's given to you, and you're like, nah.
Because character arc.
And then it reintroduces Pepper Potts to the Marvel universe.
Finally, thankfully,
and she goes, and she literally, Peter goes, "That was a test, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, you passed. Go get in the car," because he was going to be living in the building next to Vision. They mentioned Vision. And he's like,
Vision isn't a fan of doors or walls.
Tony's like, "You'll fit right in. You like to crawl on them. Vision likes to go through them. You'll fit right in." But then Pepper, and it turns out they were right, and there were 50 reporters right there waiting for him.
And Pepper was like, "What the hell? You
guys screwed this up." Like, what do I tell the reporters? And Iron Man's like, "Happy, you still got that ring?" And Happy's like,
"I've been holding this for 8 years."
Since 2008, which is technically 9 years.
Yeah. So yeah, but anyway.
And then it's like, okay, we're gonna get married, and then he flicks the ring to them as Peter walks away happy, not realizing what he actually gave up.
And then like Pepper Potts like, "You kept that for 8 years? That's weird. That's creepy."
Yeah, it kind of is. And it's comparing it's Tony's engagement ring to Pepper.
Yeah, it's like, but just the combination of that.
He had it in that particular suit.
Yeah, and not just that, but that like Tony had planned that for 8 years, and just.
I don't think he's thought of it once in 8 years, though.
No, but
I think he's been too busy saving the world to think about that wedding ring. It just occurred to him, oh yeah, I had something as a backup.
But that's also kind of good fan service, because that was one of the best relationships in the MCU. So it's finally nice to see them actually finalize it. Actually give it official status. You know.
And that's pretty much how the movie ends.
Oh, but then there's a halfway credit scene.
No, he goes back home, and his high-tech Spider-Man suit, the one from Civil War, is sitting in a brown paper bag.
Yeah, from TS, Tony Stark.
And he puts it on, and as he takes off his mask, Aunt May is behind him.
Like, what the fuck?
What the
credits?
What the credits? It's like, okay, I didn't actually see that twist coming. Like, I didn't see her finding out actually. Because his suit, the AI in his suit kept telling him, "Oh, you should tell Liz you're Spider-Man." Like,
no, but it's Mary Jane then, but yeah.
No, Liz.
Yeah, I know, but Mary Jane found out that he's Spider-Man in that scene.
No, his Aunt May.
Yes, Aunt May.
You said Mary Jane as in Mary Jane Watson.
Oh. Never mind.
No, throughout the whole I like the scenario with the AI where like we can hear it loud and clear, but it makes it obvious when it's around people that it's actually just in his head.
Yeah.
Because it would have been completely obvious, because his AI is like, "You should tell Liz you're Spider-Man," and it's like, if that was out loud, Liz would have been like, "What, Peter? What is going?" If she could hear it, it would have been spoiled right there.
Then the mid-credit scene. Yeah. Mid-credit scene.
They're in jail.
Well, yeah, like...
And he's walking through it. And he meets one of the guys who was on the boat. Like, one of the buyers of the weapons.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, I had some friends on the outside who want to meet Spider-Man. Who want to, take photos, slit his throat, stick his head in a washing machine. And I hear you know who he is." And I like this because it brought the character full circle, and he's like, if I knew who Spider-Man was, he'd already be dead.
Yeah.
And then it ends the scene because his family's come to visit him.
And then we get the trolley end credit scene.
Captain America shows up again, and he starts talking to us about patience.
Patience is a virtue for any soldier or hero. Sometimes patience really pays off, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you realize that you just sat through a whole bunch of boring stuff for something that
absolutely
really
nothing.
For something that was really disappointing.
And then he looks off. He's like, "So how many of these left?" And then it ends. And that was absolutely everything about Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yes. This video has been so long.
Yes. Yeah, everything about Spider-Man: Homecoming and like about like half an hour of irrelevant things.
Penis.
Yeah, you can tell. I just showed him the Nostalgia Critic review of
Demolition Man.
And earlier today, so yeah.
But we actually have to wrap it up.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna have a snack before we start, because the thing is, we already did a review of Pirates of the Caribbean, but we kind of screwed it up because I forgot to empty out the memory card, so halfway through it filled up. So we have to redo that one.
Yeah, and this one, and what do we say about this? It's a really fun superhero movie. It's the best take on Spider-Man so far, which is pretty easy to do.
Hey, I like the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
It's still
even the third one. I even like the third one.
It's still easy to, not hard to be. It's not hard for this to be the best one.
No, Spider-Man 2 was really good. You know, the one with Doc Ock. That one was really good. But again, this one was too.
Yes.
I'd say they're on par. So yeah, that's it for this review. We'll not botch the recording of the Pirates of the Caribbean review after I have a snack. Bye.
Bye.